Hey, welcome back to Sports and Yap alongside Julia Daniels. Will Hall with you. A lot to talk about before we get to the important topics. Juju, just a random craving. We're going to be talking about a lot of sports, but I got to get this food thing off my chest here.
Okay.
You know what I'm craving so badly? Quiznos.
We were talking about this.
Oh my gosh. When was the last time you had Quiznos?
Probably high school.
Yeah, it's been a while for me too.
We had one in my tiny little hometown.
El
Listen,
Dorado?
guys, I am from the boonies of Arkansas, right? The closest city is, we're not counting Little Rock. That's 2.5 hours away. Dallas is the closest, and it's 5 hours away. Like, that's how landlocked we are. And when I went to Quiznos, I just felt like we were so cool going to Quiznos. It was so different than anywhere else in my hometown.
Quiznos. It just sounds good. Random food thought.
Great sandwiches.
They really are. All right, on to more important topics. Free agency. Well, I should say the legal tampering period gets underway officially on Monday. But as of this taping on Sunday afternoon, the Vikings have signed Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
Boom, 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 boom. Aaron
Love
Jones.
that guy.
Yeah, how about that? 2-year deal. We're $20 million, 13 guaranteed. Bringing back the veteran back.
Yeah, I think, just production aside, right? He's such a great guy to have in your
He
locker
is.
room.
He's awesome.
I would say that he is one of the top favorites among the team.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Connell talked about it all season long.
Yep.
How he obviously performs on the field, but he is such a wonderful teammate and veteran to have in your locker room. And
Yep.
we see it too, just as media that covers him.
Yeah.
He is one of the nicest
Really
human
is.
beings that you
Really
can
is.
run into anywhere.
Yep.
So I think this is very cool. Excited for him. I do think they're in the market for a
Yeah.
younger back.
Yep.
So
You feel like that's draft or free agency?
I think free agency.
Do you? Okay.
I think you go needs. I think Vikings have made it a point to go needs free agency.
Yeah.
Draft kind of like
Cherry on
what's
top.
available?
Or what do we fill out?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. What are your thoughts?
My only thought is I feel like it might be the draft just because this draft in the stable of running backs that'll be available. Whoo-wee, there's some really talented backs. I feel like the Vikings could pick up a running back. The only thing that makes me kind of second guess that is the lack of picks that they have at the NFL draft.
Right, yeah.
So depending on how it falls out, but either way, a good veteran signing coming back here to play for the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy going to be really appreciative of that.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, on and off the field
Yeah.
too. It'll be nice for JJ to have somebody like that
Yep.
offensively with him. He's got he's got the rest of the entire offense too to look
does.
around.
He does.
as well.
He does.
But maybe not Sammy D.
Sammy D.
Yeah.
Official prediction?
My official prediction, I as of right now,
Yep.
I would have to go Seahawks.
Seahawks? Yeah.
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 That's my top contender for him
That's
at the moment.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
A lot of the NFL analysts, experts, Adam Schefter, NFL Network guys are saying Seattle's probably the likely landing spot for Sam Darnold.
Right.
I've seen a few Pittsburgh Steelers thrown out there
I have
as a
seen that
potential
too.
option as
Yeah.
well. If you were Sam, where would you want to go?
If I'm being honest, if we're going, I'm not a football player, guys. I think is this gonna sound shallow?
No.
Where are they offering me the most money? Duh.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? I think if we're going by other maybe quality of life or quality inside of a facility where I'm going to learn the most, I would go Vikings, of course.
Yeah.
I think they're at the top of the NFLPA's
Survey?
Yeah.
Yep.
Once again.
Yep.
I think he's happy here, but I also don't think the Vikings are going to give him the money that he could get somewhere else.
Yeah. Yep.
So it depends on what you weigh the most important
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
I can't say that I would weigh either one more or the other.
If money's the same, I would lean Seattle. That's where my wife's from. I love that
Aw.
area. Been to Pittsburgh a few times, but I was younger, so I don't
Right.
remember it as much. I don't know. I just look at Seattle, the supporting cast around Sam potentially.
Yeah, I think potential's better there.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right. At least that's my initial thought. But
No,
I don't know.
I would agree with you there.
Yeah.
I haven't been to either places before.
Oh, really?
So I can't gauge it in that sense.
Okay.
But I have heard Seattle's very nice.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Great,
We got to get you
great
out there,
fish
Juju.
market.
Great fish market. Great fish market.
You see the one that everyone talks about. What is it called?
Yeah.
On the spot.
Yes, you are. Pike Market.
Pike Market.
Or Pike's Market. I think that's what. Pike Place Market. Thank you, Jamie, our director. My bad. My wife's going to be like, you idiot. You knew that. You tossed fish down there.
Oh, you have?
We did. It was interesting.
So if Sam goes to Seattle, it's the first thing he does. Does he go toss a fish?
I think he has to.
Yeah.
Or go to the gum wall, which is right next to it. I actually touched the gum wall. You know me. I
Of
love
course
gum.
You did.
Yeah,
yes,
I did.
you do.
Yeah.
Your juicy fruit and.
I have the picture. I can find it.
Will likes the fruit flavored gum.
I'll find it here. Just keep killing a little time here.
Okay.
On to important stuff.
I will say it was funny seeing Mina Kimes tweet about it because she's a huge Seahawks fan.
That was hilarious.
And she was like, I have championed Sam Darnold, but now at what cost? Which I thought was so funny. If you guys don't know who Mina Kimes is, you should probably look her up
Mina's
and
the
also
best.
follow her on Twitter because she is hilarious. And also, I would argue one of the brightest minds
She
in
is.
football analytics.
Football
right now.
savant.
Yeah.
She's a genius. She's awesome.
She is. Oh,
I'm still
you're still
scrolling. I
looking?
know. I'm trying to hurry.
Wait, what are you
okay,
looking
here we
for?
go.
You
Here
at
we
the
go.
gum wall?
Here we go. If you can.
Ew, is that you touching it? I don't like that.
Okay, what else do you want to talk
I
about?
don't like that.
I'm sorry.
I
love gum.
Okay, well,
I added mine to it.
all right, Will, our hockey connoisseur.
Yes.
Wild, what the
Struggling right
is
now.
going on?
A little nervous.
Yeah?
Nervous. They're about 7 points clear in the wild card right now at the moment, but guys are fast on their tails, and right now the Wilds are just struggling for any sort of offense. 5-on-5, power play, penalty kill. They're struggling right now. If I'm a Wild fan, I'm a little nervous. You're limping towards the finish line instead of wanting to play your best hockey at the most important time of the season, which is right now down the stretch run. They're not really doing that. So if I'm a Wild fan, I'm a little nervous. Of course, the other thing, you have to add some context here. No Joel Eriksson Ek. No
Yep.
Kirill Kaprizov, no Jonas Brodin. Don't know when those three are going to be back, if they're going to be back before the playoffs or if it's going to be in the playoffs. Regardless, Wild fans, if I'm you, a little nervous right now with the way the team's playing and how their lack of scoring is impacting wins and losses.
Yeah, that was my next question was, what if these guys come back? But then you also wonder, like, what if these guys come back and things don't
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
well?
2 years ago, remember,
Right.
Kirill was injured, came back right before the playoffs, but in that series with Dallas, his rust showed. He was only back for a couple of games, and then bang, the playoffs here. And it takes a while to get up to that playoff speed.
Yeah.
A little nervous about that as well. And a guy like Joel Eriksson Ek, arguably outside of Kirill, the most important player on this Wild roster when it comes to PK, power play, and just what he does from a defensive side of things, even though he plays forward. He's really pivotal, crucial part of this Wild roster. They need those three back as soon as possible.
Yeah, and how many minutes can you get in when you do get back too?
Yeah.
Because that's a struggle.
Yep.
I can't imagine. I don't know how hockey players do it.
Yeah.
It's
Different
honestly-
level, different breed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk state hockey, girls state basketball.
That's here.
I know.
Let's go.
Unbelievable that it's already here. Big Ten tourney starts on Wednesday.
Let's go. I love this time of
And,
year.
we're just going to be talking, I guess, hoops and more hoops.
And yeah. Welcome back to Sports and Yap. I tell you what, Juju, love this time of year. We got to talk about State Boys Hockey Tournament, though.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Moorhead,
Moorhead!
first program state championship.
How about that? Which
Yeah.
is kind of crazy when you think of the history that's come out of Moorhead.
I know.
How successful that program has been over the years. Man, did you see the video of the team going back to their team hotel last night?
Yes.
That was insane.
It's like they had the whole hotel
Yeah.
booked.
That was
Which I guess that's how that works too, right? And so
Kinda.
they have blocks that
Yeah.
they can get.
Yep.
But that was, I mean, because the
nuts.
hotel, the way that the inside of the hotel is, it's
Yep.
almost like I don't know if NBC Suites everywhere are like this, but
Yeah.
growing up when we went to go to NBC Suites, the inside
Yep.
is all one giant lobby that goes all the way
All the
up.
way up. Yep.
And then people can stand on the balconies
Yeah.
and everything. And everyone was lining all of the balconies of the entire hotel.
Yeah.
And when the team came back in, they had their trophy. And it was crazy. If you haven't seen it, you got to look it up on Twitter. So cool.
It was. That was awesome. The championship game was, if you're a Spuds fan.
No defense.
Oh my gosh, defense was optional. Final score 7-6. Valiant effort from Stillwater to come back in this one, but the way Moorhead started, Mason Kraft, Minnesota State Mankato commit, Mr. Hockey announced earlier today, he had himself a day, a hat trick. 4 goals total, a hat trick in the first period alone. Can you top that if you're playing in a state championship?
Yeah, well, and then it's like, wow, you did that at, what, 17 or 18 years old?
It's like, good luck the rest of your life.
Yeah, everything's a disappointment after this all of a sudden. Yeah, that is insane. Well, there's no other word for it.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. I honestly thought Stillwater, once they fell behind 4-1, I think it was, it's like, yeah, this game's over.
But then...
No. They kept chipping away. Give credit to Stillwater. The Ponies fought hard. In the end, though, Moorhead, your AA state
Moorhead,
champion.
crazy.
Yeah.
We were talking about this too, the matchups just of both state title games.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all what we were expecting going in, but pleasantly surprised.
Yep.
And just like the girls tournament,
Yeah.
the games were everything and more that you could ask
Yeah.
for entertainment-wise.
Yep.
And just as sports lovers as we are. So cool. Congratulations to Moorhead on that big win.
Single A, East Grand Forks knocks off St.
Heck
Cloud
yeah.
Cathedral in overtime. The game-winning goal, if you haven't seen it, you got to check it out. East Grand Forks scored from below the goal line. Basically an impossible angle. Throw it on net, though. That's what my hockey coaches used to always tell me growing up.
Throat on neck?
Throw it on net.
Throw it on, sorry.
Yeah. Good things happen when you throw it on net. Or what'd you say?
Don't know.
Throw it on
I
net.
don't know what I said.
It's okay.
East Grand Forks first state championship since 2014.
2014, yes. 2014 or 2015, one of those.
One of those,
Yep.
but it's been about a decade.
Yeah.
2015, as Ryan Williamson, our genius producer, just told me in my ear. 2015, so it's been a decade.
Yep.
It's about time.
About time. And by the way, I mean, they have one of the greatest mascot names in Minnesota State high school history, the Green Wave. I love that.
Yeah, that was a funny little joke that everyone was making
Yeah.
during the entire tournament.
The Green Wave.
The Green Wave.
How about that?
Hey, you know what? I'm a Roll Tide girl myself,
Yeah.
so I'm all about it.
Love it too.
It's like the same thing, only it's green and it's named something different.
Yeah, speaking of Roll Tide.
Speaking of Roll
You
Tide,
you guys should have seen her in the sports
let's
office yesterday.
Go. We beat Auburn in overtime.
Can you give
On
me
a buzzer beater. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. It was everything I could have asked for at Auburn.
Yeah.
Love to embarrass the Barners
The
in their own
Barners.
house.
What do you call them, the Barners? Can you say
So,
this?
Yeah, I
Okay,
can say
okay.
it. I can say it. If you've never been to Auburn before,
Nope.
So Alabama can't really talk. Obviously, it's Alabama. Tuscaloosa is not a very big town, but Tuscaloosa is much bigger than Auburn is.
Okay.
Auburn is pastures and the school, right? So and they have a big ag program there.
Yep.
They're known for engineering and agriculture.
Yep.
I can't knock them on their education,
Yeah.
right? But I will say all of Auburn is farmland, so we call them the Barners.
So it would be like where I went to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
pretty
guys are
similar to-
Barners?
Yeah, Ames, Iowa. Yeah, we're Barners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate them.
I feel you on that.
I hate them.
the Iowa Hawkeyes with the passion of 1,000
I just
suns.
hate it. Well, and we lost to them just a few weeks ago.
You did.
But I'm so excited. SEC tournament starting up.
This
this
time of year
week.
is arguably my
I know.
favorite time of year when it comes to the sporting calendar.
Yeah, we have a double bye, so I don't have
Nice.
to worry about things
Nice.
until, those first 2 rounds get underway.
We just have one bye. We got to open up Wednesday.
Yeah.
If we want to win it, we got to play 4 games in 4 days.
What are you guys ranked?
Nervous. 10th, but we're going to fall out of the top 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think will be ranked?
Top 5, right?
Yeah, because we were 7th.
So, yeah.
7, we beat number 1.
Probably top 5.
I will say, and here's the thing that I will say.
Okay.
The Iron Bowl, no matter what sport,
Yeah.
is always a toss-up.
Yeah.
Like Auburn or Alabama could be completely unranked. The other team could be the top team,
Yep.
which is what makes the rivalry so great, right?
Yeah.
But so the Iron Bowl, I don't always necessarily count it as like, oh, this is what our team is. This
Yeah.
is what we look like because it's Auburn.
Yep.
But I am always happy to beat Auburn. And Alabama does look good this year.
Yeah.
Never mind, I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it because I don't want to jinx us. But enough talk about my Tide.
Love
Enough
it.
talk about Muay Thai. Let's talk girls' state basketball.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Will?
Starts up on Wednesday over at Williams Arena in Maturi Pavilion. Let's start in Class 4A. Top overall seed in 4A, Maple Grove. Jordan Oda, Michigan State signee. She leads that team. Really fun to watch. If you're going out to the tournament, make sure to watch her. Curious your thoughts, Juju. I know you've been out to just as many games as I have all winter long. Thoughts on Hopkins?
Hopkins.
Yeah.
Hopkins is a toss-up for me.
Are they? Okay. Knocked off Wayzata in the section finals, so they
Yeah.
punched their ticket. They're headed back to state. I think they're a team to watch, as well as Maple Grove in Class 4A.
I'm pulling up the brackets right now.
Okay.
Obviously, Providence Academy.
Yep.
Always one to watch.
Yep.
I think.
I feel like you can probably almost pencil them in.
Yeah. That's one of those that you always have to talk about. I'm pulling up the bracket right now.
Yep. 3A, I believe top seed is Benilde St. Margaret's.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. I've only been to one of their games this year, though.
Been to a couple. Impressed with them as well in that 3A field. So
The number 2 team you're saying in Class 4A. Sorry, my iPad. Eastview.
Eastview, okay.
Have you seen them this year?
I have not.
I haven't seen them either.
Yeah, me neither.
So that's always one where I'm like,
Yeah.
what happens
I don't
here?
know.
What happens with that? They're playing Anoka.
Okay.
Anoka's pretty good.
Yeah.
This year.
Yep.
But I don't know. This year, I just think Class 4A. I feel like usually we kind of have an inkling about things. It's going to be very competitive.
Yeah.
This year, and I think that we could see some upsets
Sign me
starting
up for
early in
upsets.
the tournament.
I love it.
Right. As long as it's not my team, I like to see it.
I know.
So
I know.
really exciting stuff. And then Boys State tournament starts
The following week. Yeah.
right? Yeah. So
Section finals this coming week. There's some good ones. Hopkins, Wayzata, Tuesday night.
oh god.
Buckle up.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting matchup to
Yeah.
see for sure.
Yep.
When we come back, what else do we have on our notes? We got to talk about the Big Ten tournament that starts on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Gophers in Northwestern.
Let's go.
On Wednesday, we'll see how that pans out. I think that's we'll maybe sprinkle in some other things to talk
Okay.
about in there, but for sure we got to talk Gopher basketball.
Welcome back to Sports and Yap. Love this time of year, March Madness. You cannot beat it. Gophers open up Big Ten Conference tournament play on Wednesday against Northwestern.
Yes.
Thoughts on that, Juju?
This has been Johnson's fight for his life
It is.
right now, and I hate that.
I know.
I hate that.
I know.
Such a great guy. I feel like he's done all he can with
Yeah.
what he has.
Yeah.
And so I think that unfortunately that loss to Rutgers is not a great look. A game that they could have won. So that's always tough to see. And I hope that they perform well in this tournament.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, if I'm being completely and blatantly honest, I don't have a lot of
Faith.
confidence
Yeah.
or faith. I think that they're just not figuring it out at this point in the year, and that's sad to me. Just because I hate to see this for Ben Johnson,
Yeah.
and people are already speculating like who the next coach is going to be,
Yeah.
which is telling. It doesn't say anything, right? We don't have any inside
No.
information on anything, but when people start to make comments on social media about like, well, what
Yeah.
about this guy? He's kind of a favorite for this,
Yeah.
and so that's sad to me.
Yeah.
I hope that they perform well. I would love to be pleasantly surprised
Yeah.
by a great performance by the Gophers, but unfortunately, I just don't have the confidence right now.
All right, so let's give you a little confidence and let's also give a little devil's advocate. We'll
Okay.
start with the bad news.
Yep.
Bad news is these two teams have already played this season at Williams Arena. It was a game that Northwestern beat Minnesota in.
Yep.
But for the flip side of things, if you want to be confident heading into this matchup, if you're a Gopher fan and you bleed maroon and gold, well, you have Dawson Garcia, one of the best players in the Big Ten Conference. And this time of year, you're free to go off and have yourself a day, which is something Dawson Garcia is very capable of doing. Put the team on his shoulders, have a big performance, knock off Northwestern, get a little momentum, and then you would likely meet Wisconsin. I think it actually not likely, it is for sure Wisconsin the following day. That would be Thursday. But let's not get ahead of
That would
ourselves.
be,
Yes.
yeah, that would be a lot.
I don't know. You hit it on the nail. Ben Johnson's the nicest guy in the world. Easy guy to root for.
I think he's a great coach.
I do too. I just feel like he's so limited with resources
Right.
at that program. And it shows in roster retention. Had a couple of guys last season say they were going to come back.
Yeah.
Last moment, flipped it and they said, no, actually, we're going to go chase a bag and enter the transfer portal. I think that impacted them, and also the timing of it.
Right.
Threw a big curveball, and it's a bummer. It's a shame, but at the same time, Ben's doing his best he possibly can right now with the limited resources he's been dealt with.
So that kind of brings up another question that I would love your thoughts
Yeah.
on. Is it necessarily the coach that needs to change here? Or is there something else that needs to go on?
I think my direct answer would be you need more resources,
Right.
More funding, more NIL behind the program to go out and get some of these standout players. The other thing too, and it's a whole nother issue, separate entity, the barn. We got to do something about the barn, right?
I know. And I will say the barn, and I was talking about this on our Care 11 Sports Plus show. I've been to a few games. The barn is much more full than
Yeah.
it has been since I started covering Gopher basketball. It has been. I do think it needs a renovation.
Yeah.
I do not support them tearing it all down.
Okay.
I think it's a historic building. It
Okay.
should stay up. I do think that the inside needs to be redone.
Yeah.
It's very dated.
Yeah.
It's not the most wonderful. I think also the elevated floor has got to go. Stop it. What are we doing? That's so dangerous. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't understand the point of it. That's besides the point. I would agree with you about the program itself. I think that they need to hire a general manager. That's what teams are doing now. You have to in this day and age because it's not just like we're bringing kids in to develop them. We hope that what our program does is appealing to them. It's this is a business now.
Yeah.
You need somebody in there for strictly business, and you need somebody driving that boat so that you can have the revenue come in. Minneapolis is not short on successful companies, Fortune 500 companies that
Very
have the
true.
money to fund a
Yeah.
program like the Gophers. But then it asks the question too, what comes first here? You know, how do you bring in revenue? How do you bring in these investors without a program that's doing well?
Yeah.
And so it's just this like tough spot that
Yeah.
they're in right now.
Yep.
I'm glad it's not my job to figure it out, but I think that the number one step, if I'm in charge
Yep.
of this athletic department, is hiring a general manager, not only for the basketball team,
Yep.
the football team as well.
Very common.
Yeah,
In
it
today's
is.
day
Yeah,
and age.
yeah.
Yep.
I just think that you have to start somewhere. Maybe you hire one for both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knows?
One thing that makes me nervous is when you look at this year's Minnesota roster. What year is Dawson Garcia?
Yeah, let's get up there.
Yeah, he's a senior. He's gone.
Yeah.
And I think they have close to 10 seniors on this year's roster.
And but the number one thing is how do you replace Dawson
Exactly.
Garcia? You don't.
Exactly. And you look at what they have coming in, it's a solid recruiting class, but
Yeah.
there's no Dawson Garcia joining this program next season.
Right.
He's gone. He's out the door. You're completely rebuilding from scratch, and that's not where you want to be in a coach that would be heading into, his 5th season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you also have to just shell out some money. You have to find it somewhere. Shell out some money
gotta
for
be
one or
some
two recruits
yeah.
here.
There's in this city, you touched on it.
We're a hub
There
for high
has to
school
be.
hoops.
Yes.
You got to get at least one,
Yeah.
if not two, top recruits out of Minnesota to stay here, play for their team, get some kind of momentum going.
Yeah.
And so, it's just a tough spot. It's
It
a tough
is.
spot for them. I think that the women's side of things is a similar situation, but I will say we have seen some progress, some
Yeah.
serious progress since
Yep.
Don took over the program. So,
Yeah.
maybe you hire a GM that does men's and women's.
Yeah. This day and age, you wouldn't be surprised to see that. I don't know. I'm nervous. I just don't see. You look at next year's roster, who's,
You get rid of
who's
your
their impact player?
head coach, and then you don't have anybody left.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous
Yeah,
if I'm a Gophers fan.
Yeah, well, I think Gophers fans are pretty realistic about the situation going on with the men's basketball team. I think they're more realistic when it comes to basketball than they are when it comes to football. That's my hot take for today. Yeah. Gopher football fans don't ever want to talk about it. That's okay. But I'm also an SEC girl at heart. So.
You are? RTR.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of depressing to think about, but who knows? Maybe they surprise us.
Make a Cinderella run.
Yeah, why
in
not?
Indianapolis.
It's also, this is college hoops.
It is.
And this is the time of year where stuff like that does happen.
St. Peter's a couple years ago. Why not Gophers?
Why not Gophers? Yeah, I agree. But that's all the notes I have.
That's all the time that we had today. That's all the fun we had today.
It flies by so quick.
It does.
That's enough sports and yapping for this week. We will see you next week.